The tension in the room was palpable as Emily and her mother, Karen, sat down to discuss their plan. Emily's eyes were still red from crying, but there was a new resolve in them. She was determined to teach the girls a lesson they wouldn't forget. "Mom, I want to get back at them for what they did to me," Emily said, her voice steady despite the turmoil she felt inside. Karen looked at her daughter, her heart aching for her. She understood the desire for revenge, but she also knew how destructive it could be. "Emily, I understand why you feel this way, but revenge might not be the best solution." Emily shook her head, her determination unwavering. "Mom, they humiliated me. They need to know how it feels." Karen sighed, her heart aching for her daughter. "Emily, I understand, but revenge no," Emily interrupted, her voice firm. "Mom, they need to learn a lesson. We need to make a plan to shave their hair as bald as mine at the salon. They need to understand the pain and humiliation." Karen looked at Emily, her expression conflicted. "Are you sure about this, Emily? It might cause more problems." Emily nodded, her eyes steely with resolve. "Yes, Mom. They need to understand what they did to me. Think about a good plan." Karen sat down, thinking carefully. "All right, Emily. Let's consider how we can do this without getting into trouble. We need to be smart about it." Emily leaned forward, her eyes bright with anticipation. "We can invite them to the salon. Maybe offer them a free makeover. They won't suspect anything until it's too late." Karen raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "That could work. But how do we get them to agree?" Emily smiled, a plan forming in her mind. "We can tell them there's a special event at the salon, something exclusive. They'll want to be a part of it." Karen nodded, starting to see the potential. "All right, but we need to make sure it's foolproof." "What if they get suspicious?" Emily thought for a moment. "We'll make it look legitimate. We can create fake invitations, maybe even set up a small event at the salon. They'll never suspect a thing." Karen sighed, knowing her daughter was set on this course. "Okay, Emily, but we need to be careful. One wrong move and it could backfire." Emily nodded, her determination unwavering. "I know, Mom, but they need to learn. Let's start planning." A week later, the plan was set in motion. Emily and Karen worked tirelessly to create the perfect ruse. Invitations were printed, decorations were bought, and the salon was prepped for the event. Everything had to be perfect. On the day of the event, Emily felt a mix of nerves and excitement. She watched as the girls arrived, each one smiling and chatting, completely unaware of what awaited them. "Welcome, everyone." Karen greeted them warmly. "We're so glad you could make it to our special event. Please come in and make yourselves comfortable." The girls entered the salon, their faces alight with curiosity. "What's this event about?" asked Sarah, her eyes scanning the room. Emily stepped forward, her heart pounding. "It's a surprise makeover event. We thought it would be fun to give you all a new look." Chloe grinned, her excitement evident. "This sounds amazing. I can't wait to see what you have planned." Megan nodded, her eyes sparkling. "Yeah, this is going to be so much fun." Karen smiled, guiding the girls to their seats. "All right, let's get started. We'll do this one at a time to give you all the attention you deserve." As the first girl, Sarah, sat down, Karen gave Emily a reassuring nod. Emily took a deep breath and approached her. "Ready for your makeover, Sarah?" Emily asked, her voice steady. Sarah nodded, oblivious to the true plan. "Absolutely. I trust you guys." Karen began working on Sarah's hair, talking to her to keep her relaxed. "So Sarah, what kind of style are you thinking of?" Sarah shrugged, smiling. "Surprise me." Karen and Emily exchanged a glance, and then Karen made the first cut. Sarah didn't realize what was happening until it was too late. "Wait, what are you doing?" Sarah exclaimed, her eyes widening as she saw the scissors and clippers. Karen kept her voice calm. "Just trust us, Sarah. You'll look great." Sarah tried to get up, but Emily gently held her down. "It's okay, Sarah. This is part of the plan." Sarah's eyes filled with fear and confusion, but she didn't resist further. As her hair fell away, Emily felt a pang of guilt but pushed it aside. This was necessary. Once Sarah's hair was shaved off, she looked at herself in the mirror, tears welling up. "Why are you doing this?" Emily's voice was firm, "Because you need to understand what you did to me." The other girls watched in horror, their faces pale. They wanted to escape, but the door was closed and they were trapped in the salon. Sarah, Chloe, and Megan exchanged terrified glances, realizing the gravity of their situation. "We can't let you leave until you experience what you put Emily through," Karen said, her voice calm but stern. "You will shave your hair as bald, but we will not go to the police to report what you did to my daughter." Sarah, the oldest at 16, stepped forward, trying to stay composed. "Please, this is going too far. We didn't mean to hurt Emily like this." Emily's eyes flashed with anger. "Didn't mean to hurt me. You humiliated me. Now it's your turn to see how it feels." Chloe, only 14, started to cry. "I'm sorry, Emily. We thought it was just a prank. We never thought it would hurt you this much." Emily crossed her arms, her expression cold. "Well, now you'll understand. Sit down, Chloe." Chloe hesitated, looking to Sarah and Megan for support, but they were just as scared. Finally, she sat down in the chair, trembling. Karen picked up the clippers and turned them on, the buzzing sound filling the room. "This will go easier if you cooperate, Chloe." Chloe nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Okay, just get it over with." Karen gently placed the clippers at the front of Chloe's hairline and began shaving. Chloe closed her eyes, sobbing quietly as her hair fell to the floor. When it was done, she looked at herself in the mirror, her bald head reflecting the harsh light. Megan, 15, was next. She tried to put on a brave face but couldn't hide her fear. "Emily, please, we really are sorry. We didn't think about the consequences." Emily's voice was cold. "And now you'll know how it feels to be humiliated. Sit down, Megan." Megan took her place in the chair, gripping the armrest tightly. Karen moved swiftly, shaving off her hair, while Megan tried to hold back her tears. When it was over, she looked at her reflection, her face pale and tear-streaked. Finally, it was Sarah's turn. She was shaking, trying to find the right words. "Emily, we made a huge mistake. We'll do anything to make it up to you. Please don't do this." Emily's eyes were hard. "It's too late for apologies, Sarah. Sit down." Sarah sat in the chair, her heart pounding. Karen began shaving her head, the sound of the clippers loud in the silence. Sarah watched her hair fall, feeling a mix of shame and regret. When it was done, Karen turned off the clippers and looked at the three girls, their heads now bald. "I hope you've learned your lesson. What you did to Emily was cruel, and now you know how it feels." Emily stood in front of them, her eyes filled with a mixture of anger and sadness. "You'll never understand the pain you caused me, but maybe this will make you think twice before hurting someone else." The girls nodded, their expressions filled with remorse. Chloe, her voice shaking, said, "We really are sorry, Emily. We never wanted to hurt you like this." Her mother stepped forward, holding a stack of papers. "We have not finished," she said, her tone firm. The shock in the girl's eyes was palpable as she continued. "These are agreements. Each of you will sign, stating that you wanted to shave your head to try a new type of shaving. You will also commit to repeating this shaving every month for a year. This is a rigorous commitment." Sarah, trying to process the new development, asked, "What? You can't be serious." Emily's mother handed the first paper to Sarah. "I'm very serious. If you refuse, we'll go to the police with what you did to Emily. This is your chance to avoid legal trouble." Sarah looked at the paper, her hands trembling. "But this is too much. We already shaved our heads." "Isn't that enough?" Emily's voice was calm but unyielding. "You need to understand the severity of what you did. This will ensure you remember and never repeat such cruelty." Megan, her voice breaking, said, "Please, isn't there another way? We're truly sorry. This is the only way to make sure you understand the consequences of your actions. Sign the papers." Chloe, still crying, took the pen with shaky hands. "I don't want to get in trouble with the police. I'll sign." As Chloe signed the paper, the room was silent, except for the sound of the pen scratching against the paper. Megan and Sarah exchanged a look of despair before reluctantly taking the pen and signing their own agreements. After the last paper was signed, Emily's mother collected them and said, "This commitment will help you remember the impact of your actions. Now you can leave." The girls stood up, their heads bowed in shame. Chloe, her voice barely a whisper, said, "We really are sorry, Emily. We never meant to hurt you like this." Emily nodded, her expression softening slightly. "I hope you mean it. This isn't just about me. It's about making sure no one else goes through what I did." The girls nodded, and with heavy hearts, they left the salon. As the door closed behind them, Emily felt a mixture of relief and sadness. She had stood up for herself, but the journey to healing was just beginning. Emily's mother put an arm around her. "You did the right thing, Emily." They needed to understand. Emily leaned into her mother, feeling the warmth of her support. "I hope they learned their lesson, Mom.